What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Lost Records Journal, our podcast. I'm not even got an introduction yet. But yeah, welcome to Lost Records Journal. This is Player One vs. Lost Records podcast. We had our first episode debut last month, which was in March. This is a monthly podcast to start with, and it focuses on Don't Nod Entertainment's Lost Records universe, which is based on the first game in the series from Don't Nod Montreal, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. That introduction will become more refined as we move forward. Don't worry about that. But yeah, thank you for joining us as always as well. If you are new here to the Player One vs. World, please do drop a subscribe on the channel. Like the video, share with your friends. I hate the YouTube spiel, but it does help support the channel, helps it give it visibility. And also as well, Lost Records Journal is available on all podcast services now, so we're available on everything. I'm pretty sure I got us all on that as well. It took a bit of a process, but we're on there. And thank you to everyone who's rated us on Spotify. I believe we have 2 ratings of 5 stars, which is really nice to have, so thank you for that. I think we also have about 11 followers already on Spotify, so thank you very much for that as well. So if you are new there as well, do follow, because then you basically get access to all your content immediately via RSS feeds. And then on top of that as well, the video version is available on Spotify. And if you are watching on podcast services and you want to come to the YouTube channel, do come here as well, because we do other content. And this is as well, again, because you might be here just for Lost Records content, this is the sister podcast for StrangeCast, which is our Life is Strange flagship podcast that we've done for about 4 years or so. So do go and check that out. It's been a long run, it's 3 or 4 years. So yeah, do go and check that out. That's where we cover everything. So we cover all Don't Nod Montreal, we cover Don't Nod Entertainment, we cover Deck 9, we cover Life is Strange, Square Enix. So please do go and check that out as well. You'll get more content. That's more bi-weekly as well. And we do cover Lost Records, Bloom and Rage on there. I know this isn't StrangeCast, and we'll address it in the next episode, but thank you to everyone who watched last StrangeCast. It's one of our most popular StrangeCasts that we've ever done. And unfortunately, that's probably driven by the horrible news that it's based around as well. But thank you for that. We are all feeling a lot better, as you could see, as that episode gradually dragged on. I was getting even more worse and worse. I think the tissues were running out, and Adam just took a little bit more of a tumble on himself as well. So it's gradually got worse and worse. But firstly, the main thing is thank you to everyone who watched the video and then also commented as well and was very respectful, because that's all I asked for it, because I was like, you don't have to agree with us about everything, but just want a bit of civility in the comments, and people are really respectful about that, so we really do appreciate that. And we'll obviously carry more of that conversation on StrangeCast, so don't worry about that, and we'll address a couple of other things that we didn't pick up on the podcast, but we're feeling a lot better. So that's out of the way. We are on Lost Records Journal. So, Adam, I think the starting point for this conversation I was going to talk to you about was the fact that we haven't heard about this game for a long time.
Not even touched.
Yeah, so the last things that we actually really got was obviously the reveal trailer at the Game Awards last year. Dorito Pope Jeff Keighley let Don't Nod have a plot from there to reveal the game. And we got the review. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice little swipe with Jeff Keighley. But Jeff Keighley gave him a platform to reveal the game. And then since then, we've covered little bits of news, and it was mainly interviews with Luke Bagados, Michelle Koch, and Frederica Fonet-Jennings, who are all at Don't Nod Montreal, who have spoken about the game just in very light detail. And again, there's an invitation here on this podcast as well. Just saying, Marin, let them on.
Yes.
Not that I know anything, but Marin, you are brand manager.
Bearded man. Two bearded brothers here. Marin has a nice beard as well. We are just asking as a bearded brotherhood. I don't like that.
Well, if Marin doesn't let them on, you're getting a one-way ticket. One-way ticket to Montreal with a pair of scissors, and his beard is going to go.
What the?
It's going to go. That's the threat that we're placing on him at this point.
Yes, I am in the same continent as Marin. Yes, you're right.
Well, he's in Canada.
Yeah, but on the other side of so I'm in the middle, and they're over on the East Coast. I'm on the Midwest.
Look, I would do it myself, but that's a longer trip. For you, it's more cost affordable. It's a lot
of water you have to cross. Yeah.
So that's more affordable for that. So you're the one who's gonna have to cut his beard off if he doesn't let those guys on here. So that's just the thing about it. But yes, as I said, the invitation is always here if you are watching. Yeah. But yeah, we haven't heard anything about it, and I brought up Marin as well because Marin is the brand manager at Don't Nod Montreal, and I believe is running the social feeds, I assume, because those social posts are quite funny sometimes when they post them as well. You a sporadic one where they post a really funny thing, but not heard anything. So I think for me, my kind of time frame was going to say that we could even get it at Summer Games Fest where we get more information. So I think because do you remember we were based on the timeline?
The June Xbox Showcase.
Oh yes, because Jusant was there last year.
Jusant was there at the Xbox Showcase.
Funny moment during StrangeCast because Adam was watching Adam was watching the Xbox showcase whilst we were recording StrangeCast, and I'm like, we're going through the news and stuff, and I'm like, just briefly flicking through Twitter, and then we have this Don't Nod news that pops up, and I'm like, Adam, are you not watching this? He's like, no, I thought it was like Death Stranding or something, like, because it was like this,
Yeah, because
this
I
kid
kept
climbed up the
seeing it. I was
wall.
like, huh, this is weird. It's Don't Nod. Yeah, so there's a possibility that it could be at the June Xbox showcase, you know?
And is Summer Games Fest July? Or is that June?
That's a good question. Hold on.
Do you have a quick look at that?
May almost.
Because obviously we no longer have E3. Rest in peace, E3. Like that was the expose where it was
pieces, like E3.
Yeah, surprisingly that lasted a lot longer than I. Do you want? When I was working in the industry from like 2013 onwards, people were like, "Oh, E3 is going to die," and it took like over a decade later for it to like see it's inevitable. That was like, how did it survive that long? That long, man. But I think, Adam as well. Could you imagine, for example, if the new Life is Strange game is revealed at Summer Games Fest and Lost Records Bloom Rage is also there at the same event as well and shares more detail? Oh my god, that's like the collision of two worlds. That is like truly the collision of two worlds.
Summer Games Fest is on June 7th, and I'm seeing on surprisingly Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated is saying that Xbox Summer Showcase is on June 9th. I'm not seeing on GameSpot. GameSpot just says June. Game Rant says just June. Oh no. GameSpot does say June 9th. Yes. But I just love how the first one I see, Sports Illustrated confirms it's on June 9th. So thanks, Sports Illustrated. I guess they have a video game. Yeah, they have. Oh my god.
Yeah, the gaming division.
What? Okay, I guess. Sure.
This is the Sports Illustrated that's struggling as well. Like, you know, I think they did have like redundancies recently. It's like,
listen, Sports Illustrated, if you need a new bikini model, just listen, man, this economy's rough. I'll do it. I'll do it, dude. If you just need one, hit your boy up.
That's if you remove the cap, though.
If I remove the cap,
yeah,
bro, I'll remove whatever it takes, man. I'm just trying to pay rent out here.
Anyway,
so June 7th is Games Fest, and then June 9th is the Xbox Showcase.
So I think either could happen as well, because remember, Luke posted on the Xbox Wire. Do you want to hear when they revealed Lost Records? Because he wrote that massive thread, didn't he, on the Xbox Wire about Lost Records Bloom Rage after the reveal. So I could see, you know, it is multi-platform, but I could see it happening on both.
What's interesting too is that June 7th is a Friday, and then Sunday, June 9th. Yeah. But yeah, I honestly think that here's a real question. Do we get like another teaser at Games Fest, and then do we get more details Xbox Showcase? Because I'm starting to see that like Xbox and Don't Nod are going like hand in hand almost.
Yeah.
Which is weird to think about because PlayStation and Square are kind of like hand in hand. So it's interesting to me that like Don't Nod and Xbox are kind of like seeing eye to eye on things, you know, a lot. Because Jusant got on Game Pass. You know, we had Tell Me Why, which was, you know, published by Xbox. So it's starting to think. Am I thinking that Don't Nod is going to be acquired by Xbox? I don't think so, dude.
No,
I think they're just trying to recoup from the Activision Blizzard stuff. Like they are just trying their best to recoup from that. There's no more acquisitions going to be happening in Xbox. But I think there could be like a partnership, kind of like Xbox and Nintendo. You know, like it could be like a heavy partnership. You know.
Yeah, I would see that. I wouldn't mind. I think like I could see like Xbox keeping close eye on Don't Nod for the future. Don't Nod's like, I think, based on its like last market value, it'd be worth about 100 million euros. I think it would take you to acquire it. That's like at the price it's at the minute. I think you'd have to pay a bit more. I think like it'd probably cost you in excess of about 150 million euros to acquire Don't Nod as like privately owned.
Xbox comes in like, how about $5?
Yeah,
$5 and Game Pass exclusivity.
Exactly. But no, like they have a good relationship with Microsoft. I think like the thing is though, like what I take from the timeline at the minute, because we're in April now, and we really haven't heard anything about Lost Records, is that this pushes the release date back further and further. So it's like for me, like I think we'll see this game like October, November, if not
Mhm.
September. But I think September's an early push. But I think October, November, we see the release of this game. You kind of see like a first, like, massive look at the game in terms of more than a teaser trailer at this, either on the showcases, either the Xbox showcase or Summer Games Fest. And then
Mhm.
after that, I think that they're gonna have, like, with what, like, the brand managers does, like Marin and all the other members of the team, they'll kind of do like packages, like focusing on characters. So if you remember the first Life is Strange, when Square Enix released that, it was like, here's a dev diary, here's a dev diary, here's a dev diary. Do you like more little focus, like material that they can focus on each character? So I think they're going to give like
Yes.
exposés and stuff like that. So I think that'll be kind of like a bigger market push, but then also like concentrated marketing that they do, and then they'll appear at like little exposés and stuff in between it.
Mm.
Which is what I assume at the minute, because as I said, we haven't really heard anything about it since the reveal. And it's kind of like, I think we're just all like on like, on our tippy toes waiting for the game to kind of get a bit more information, because, like, I've watched that trailer so many times, and it's like, come on guys, I need more thumbnail pictures, man. I can't keep using the same stuff every thumbnail. I'm like desperately trying to find new frames. It's like screenshot for the thumbnails. I'm like, come on, it's like, give me more content here.
I'm also trying to see if there's like speaking on like will we get information on, god dang, this is a long ass thread. So I'm looking through Xbox, because sometimes they tweet out what to expect.
mhm,
And the last one they had, like, we're only revealing certain games and that's it. There's no going to be so they that last Xbox showcase was like, it was all right. But
mhm.
yeah, like they're even at a tweet here, like, we're going to be talking about releases like Senua's Saga, Indiana Jones, about Ara, Towerborn, and more. Today we're continuing our commitment to expanding communities, blah blah blah. As we begin to fulfill our promise begin to fulfill our promise to offer Activision Blizzard games on Game Pass, we are happy to share Diablo 4 will be available on Game Pass March 28th. Blah, 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 blah. This is on February. I'm stupid.
Are you done?
Huh? Am I done?
Yeah.
No. Xbox. No, yeah. I'm trying to see if like this could be. Yeah. Yeah, no, like there's like nothing promised. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I think the likelihood is that we see it in an expose at some point. I still think it'd be quite wild if we saw the new Life is Strange game revealed at the same time as like the Lost Records. It's like, like two merging the worlds, where it's like damn, because like that in itself will be a conversation we'll have about Lost Records. Cause I think it's a big competition for Life is Strange. I think it'll be like
Yeah.
Life is Strange's first competition in that market.
Do you really think that like at the games, like Summer Game Fest, like do you think like Bloom and Rage and the new Life is Strange game will be revealed on the same platform?
We're gonna have a busy busy period if it does.
Yeah. It's just wild to me, because like, speaking on like trying to get game news from Lost Records, trying to get game news in general, dude, it's just so dry lately, dude. It's just like there's
Yeah.
nothing happening. Like, we don't know about even talking about like trying to get
It's
excited
dry. Did you not see our last StrangeCast episode?
well,
Did you not see the last StrangeCast episode?
That's not really game news. That's more of just like, once again, travesty working in the games industry. You know, and they're just the entertainment industry in general. It's just filled with people like that. So it just, I don't know. Like, it's shocking that it came from Deck 9, but not shocking because it's the entertainment industry. You know. But like talking about like even just the new Switch, just thinking about the new Switch, and we just like knew absolutely nothing about it, and just like we're just, a lot of gaming news nowadays is just kind of, it's reaching. It's a lot of reaching, because I listen to a lot of gaming podcasts, and it's just a lot of them are just like, well, what we think could be. Same thing for us. We're a Lost Records journal, and we're just like, it could be revealed at the Xbox showcase. Well, what if it doesn't? What happens to our lives after that? You know,
I think it's, for me, it has to be revealed at one of the exposes, because like, think about it in the terms of their marketing. Like, they're not going to hold their own showcase either. It's only, Don't Nod's not like prolifically like Square Enix big or another studio big, where it's like, they revealed the game at the Game Awards, for example. So it's already they revealed it at a big expose. I don't see them not being at a big expose and revealing more details. The game also is in the pipeline for 2024. If you don't know, so it's like it has to be shown at, and this is like the next check marker. You can kind of reveal the game and get it on another platform stage and kind of show it to people. So I think like that's my timeline, because then at that point they can start doing like little like developer diaries. Here's this character, here's that actor. Because it's like they've been so cryptic about like, the characters' names and stuff. You wouldn't be that overly cryptic if you weren't going to start revealing details. And it's like they're very like cryptic about like the genders. Like it seems to suggest that they are all females. But again, like my theory is that there'll be one that will be like non-binary, like 27 years later when we make the time jump. I think like there seems to be like suggestions that would like kind of go that direction. But I think like I think like we're gonna probably see more news like going into like that June period. I think like maybe next month actually, like May, we start seeing like little they do like they start popping up and like showing like little like teasers and here and there. It's kind of like a bit more active, but it's been very like quiet otherwise. And I think like they'll start gearing things up because it's going to be a big marketing thing. It's like imagine if it is on the stage of like the same time as like Square Enix's like Life is Strange and stuff like that. It's going to be quite surreal just to see stuff like that happening. Cause it's like, oof, damn. Because it's like that'll be a conversation itself. We'll have it on another podcast because I don't think it's a it's like I think like there's so many conversations people it's always like Life is Strange this and it's like that. I think it's more about it's going to be big competition for Life is Strange. I think Life is Strange is going to face its first actual conversation of competition in the space of video games since its incarnation, because I think Lost Records can easily start carving little bits of market share. Not that it's trying to, but I think it can. But anyway, different conversation.
Yes.
In this topic as well, I was going to bring up to you because like we haven't actually got the location yet. And the location is a big talking point, especially for yourself, Adam, because you are like broken a little bit thinking that the location isn't where you think it's going to be, but still haven't had a location confirmed yet. And I think it's important to have this conversation here as well, because we can have a chat about it before they reveal it. Hopefully not next week when I put this episode out. We're recording on the 14th of April, so I'm hoping nothing comes out which like completely trajects this like podcast, because it has happened before in our podcast.
Yes.
So Philadelphia.
Well, I am sending you a Google image search of a place in Pennsylvania that I absolutely adore. And it is a place, and it's called... What's that? It's a place called Hawk Mountain. Yeah, Hawk Mountain in Pennsylvania. So Hawk Mountain is one of the greatest hiking trails that I've ever been on in my entire life. And it gets really high up. You can see like all the foliage in Pennsylvania. You see a bunch of hawks. Yeah, dude. Listen, man. Listen, if I'm still on my theory of, it's in Philly, Hawk Mountain isn't too far from Philly, if I remember correctly, because I used to go on trips all the time, and I'm from Philly, so let me just Google map it.
The images in here are giving me the vibe of when they sat on the deck in the trailer.
Yeah. Dog.
Like that one, for example, terrible quality. But if you see it on the video version, it screams like Lost Bloom and Rage. Experience that.
So from Philly to Hawk Mountain, it's an hour-and-a-half drive.
Huh. Luke was in Pennsylvania, wasn't he?
He was like, "Oh, Philly's so great." I'm like, "Why'd you choose Philly? I think Boston is near you. Why didn't you go to Boston?" No, you went to Philly, and then you took an hour-and-a-half drive to Hawk Mountain to kind of scout the location. I don't know.
I think you were pretty close. I think that's a very good like guesswork, because like nothing's been confirmed yet. But it's like when you just sent me those photos of like, the mountain hiking area, it just looks like that scene from Bloom and Rage where they sat on the deck, the girls or the characters, and it's like they just sat there, and it's like you see because like they're all about the setting as well. So it's like even with the first Life is Strange, like think about all those like little nice showpieces that you get, like with the lighthouses, the view over the cliff, where the benches sat. It's always been quite scenery focused, whatever you want to call it.
Senua.
Very nice, like way of like painting images, if anything. And Michelle's got his own background in like art, and the devs always have a big focus on arts. So I think like that's kind of like, for me, I think that you got a very good shout there. I'd be very shocked if it isn't in there.
Yeah, I was about to say, because like even a lot of Life is Strange games, they're never in a major city. You know, I believe Life is Strange 2 starts in Seattle. You know,
Yes.
they start in Seattle and then they make their way down, but they never really set themselves in a major city. Like Life is Strange was just a made up town in Oregon, right?
Yeah.
But they mentioned Seattle, you know, and then we get Life is Strange 2 connected by being in Seattle and then going all the way down. And then they go to like made up places in California and all that, but well, not necessarily made up, but you know, they go about their way. But if you say middle of Pennsylvania, and you're seeing all these images, and that's very much like you know, Western Pennsylvania going into West Virginia, which another Don't Nod game takes place in West Virginia. Do you know what the game is?
West Virginia. I'm gonna say, I'm just taking a guess at this. Twin Mirror?
Yes. Twin Mirror takes place in West Virginia. So they have placements in West Virginia and Western Pennsylvania. So it could be a possibility that we could be seeing like a Western Pennsylvania / like West Virginia kind of vibe here. And West Virginia, and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing about West Virginia. Okay, so I really did, before I moved to North Dakota here, like I was talking to Liz, like I really want to move to West Virginia because it's so gorgeous in West Virginia. It really is just so absolutely gorgeous. However, how do I say this without like sounding like an asshole? They're racist as hell. It's just like they are. People in West Virginia are just like awful. A good friend of mine, Andrew Orsi of Black to Gold, he's from West Virginia, and I'm like, hey, is there any good city in West Virginia? And he goes like, no. But it's a gorgeous state. It's absolutely amazing to look at. And you see it a lot in Twin Mirror, which oh my god, yeah, I would like to play it again on my 4K. But yeah, no, so it's a gorgeous game set in a gorgeous place, and Night in the Woods takes place in Western Pennsylvania. So it's a good game, meaning that I'm right and you're wrong. Everybody's wrong except for me. They could mention Philadelphia at one point.
Yeah, because that was funny you said that, because I was like, going to ask you, do you think the game's set in just one location? Because obviously there's a time jump as well.
Yeah.
Or do you think we move like maybe to another state or another city in there? Like, I think it has to be concentrated. Like, it'll be like, I don't know if they'll do like what they did with Life is Strange 2, where they move from like place to place, like that, and maybe they just focus on what they did with Life is Strange 1. No,
like,
yeah.
I'm not trying to get into Michelle's mind. Like Michelle's like watching this podcast, like, you don't know me, you don't know my mind. It's like, no, I don't. But like, it. So my friend is playing Life is Strange for the first time, and I'm like helping him through it. You know, so he's like. By the way, we're doing the remastered version because he's my little test dummy, so I don't have to play it. Still buggy.
Of course.
Still buggy.
Still on our bingo card, remember?
Yeah.
For a patch. We're still waiting for that moment.
Yeah, there's still music being cut out, and that's, bro, the scene where she wakes up from the dream at first, bro, that loading scene is longer than I remembered. It's like, it feels like it's longer.
Please.
So that's great. But yeah, no, like he's playing through, and I'm just seeing that one setting, and I'm like, this is so well concentrated, and I really want to replay Tell Me Why, and that was just set in that one setting, and it was just so, it was so good. Twin Mirror, like you mentioned, it's, you know, set in one setting, and it's great. It's a good hub area. I think if we just set ourselves in that one place, like even when they call each other back, right? Like the one character saying like, "Hey, we need to come back." I think it's in like a log cabin, if I remember correctly. I'm just watching the trailer footage. There's the VHS. No, we don't need to see.
You mean when the character's older?
She's older. It looks it looks like wooden paneling, and she's like wearing some kind of like flannel shirt, like a sort. It's not like an office. Like she's definitely in some sort of like log cabin, like camping. I'm like looking at it right now,
Yeah.
but I think it's gonna be same in the same setting. Like she stayed behind, kind of like in Stephen King's It in Derry, where he calls him back to Derry. He just stayed in Derry.
Yeah.
This could be that same kind of setting,
Yeah.
So maybe middle of Pennsylvania / Western Pennsylvania, that sort of area.
Yeah.
But who knows? But yeah, West Virginia. Oh, the other point I was gonna make. Sorry, my bad. Before I got on the racist people of West Virginia, West Virginia's gonna hate me. I don't care. Just hate me all he wants. I'm an asshole. But part of West Virginia's culture is that there's a lot of what do you call those? Urban myths. A lot of urban myths. So we're talking about Mothman. We're talking about what's the other one? Nice people
Bigfoot?
that live in Bigfoot has been spotted. Sensible people. That's an urban myth that has in West Virginia. People who are sensible and open-minded. That's an urban myth in West Virginia. So spooky. I'm never gonna step foot in that place. But yeah, there's a lot of like supernatural urban myth happening in West Virginia. And what you saw from Hawk Mountain that I showed you, that's a lot of West Virginia. So it could be West Virginia, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that it'll just be the one location. There'll be a town situated somewhere. I think the Philadelphia one would be quite nice as well if it is in Pennsylvania. It's in somewhere in Pennsylvania, which would maybe make sense as well. Like where is it? Do you know where it is set? Like in the fictional town as well, like state wise.
Where does all of Stephen King take place? It takes place in the same place.
Where's it? Like you're gonna have to tell me this because I don't read Stephen King.
Oh man, every single Stephen King book takes place in Maine.
Maine is like over here on the map. Up here.
Yeah, it's all the way up. It's like basically Canada.
Yeah, and obviously, like the influence of Stephen King is like ridiculous on Don't Nod. So it's like
Maine doesn't really look like this though. Like if you look up Google images of Maine hiking trails, it doesn't really. Excuse me, my God, I just drank a tea leaf, and now it's like clogged in my windpipe.
Maine hiking trail. No, it doesn't look like it.
It doesn't really look like this. It's very much more like scenic, very much waterfalls. Like there's a lot of
listeners view. This is why it looks like a little bit more.
Yeah, like it doesn't really
less bloom and rage that.
Yeah, like there's less woods and more water in Maine. So like it looks more like Oregon in Maine than it does in Pennsylvania. Whereas Pennsylvania, you have a lot more foliage, you have a lot more woods and forest. It's not to say that like Maine couldn't be a place that takes place, but with the images that we saw, as someone who grew up in Pennsylvania and has done these hiking trails, it looks like those kind of areas. There's a lot more hiking in Pennsylvania. I just love Hawk Mountain. Like that's my favorite spot. I almost did a military retreat there, but then my mom said no because apparently it's super dangerous that they did, and I was like, oh man, come on, Mom. And look at me now, I'm not in the military, so there's that. There I go. But so yeah, you're saying.
I think the Pennsylvania one you sent me, which was very, very similar, and that is kind of stuck in my head now, but the image as well, that was very close.
Yeah.
And fully enough as well, one of the listeners that we have for StrangeCast, I'm not going to mention who they are because I don't know if they want to be mentioned or not, but like, they sent me some tweets from Michelle back in 2024. And Michelle tweeted, like, he put
back in 2024, well. That's where we're in now.
Yeah, that shows you how long this year's going on for.
Way back when in 2020.
Yeah. So it was a post from Don't Nod saying the journey, the places, Life is Strange 2, and it was like signed welcome to Nevada, and Michelle quote tweeted and put, the landscapes were one of the main characters in Life is Strange 2. We wanted to showcase the sense of being on the run, of not having a fixed home anymore, but at the same time, how this could push Sean to discover so much and meet briefly so many different people during this journey. And someone replied to Michelle saying, I don't see a reason to call Life is Strange 2 if all mechanics and characters have changed. And then Michelle responded saying, tell that to Final Fantasy. Which I thought was quite like just a very funny exchange, that. But like, I don't see them doing the Life is Strange 2 approach though in this game, because it's very different. And I think because of how the story's going to, or how we can tell the story is going to be told, it seems very much more concentrated. So I think we could wrap it up here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so if you are like listening as well, let us know where you think the location is going to be set in the game. I think it'll be quite interesting to see where your thoughts are, because I think Adam is probably that was very early. Adam had predicted that as well. This was like back in the Theories episode for StrangeCast, which you can listen to. I think he said it all the way back there as well, because we were basing it on images that we've seen. Obviously, the early first image teaser we saw of Don't Nod Montreal's game in the house, with the video game cartridge, said the house looked very Pennsylvania-esque. So do let us know about that. And actually, Adam, before we go as well, I'm just going to read you one comment here.
Okay.
This is from Clarks, who listens to StrangeCast, and thank you, Clarks, as well. Just wanted to give you some thoughts on here, which was they put on the last video for Lost Records Journal. They put, very interesting. One solo lead might should have been obvious, since it's sort of Michelle's team's typical situation, but it's interesting news to me. I guess I assume we would play all 4 characters we currently know about, which I think related to how we felt later in that episode. So I kind of wanted to give that a shout out for one of the comments that we got. And also one more as well, because I get this one for DJ Howard 82, who said, this may be a dumb question. Never a dumb question, DJ Howard, never a dumb question.
Unless you face me.
Yeah, that's on StrangeCast. That's a StrangeCast exclusive, that. But with there being only one solo lead, do you think that means we'll be playing as the same character for both past and present, or is there a chance we play it as one of the others 27 years later? So I've responded to this person, Adam, because I think it's going to be the same person both sides. I'd be very surprised if you switch the narrative in that way, because it'd be quite, drastic change. If you ever played a game where it does that, i.e. like Metal Gear Solid 2, big twist in that you change characters, the entire narrative trajectory changes at that point. Well, I wanted to ask you, Adam, because I thought it was an interesting comment from DJ Howard as well, saying that, do you think that we'll play the same character in both settings? So we both think it's the orange-haired, ginger-haired character who's probably going to be the lead character, but do you think it's going to be them?
Dumb question. Idiot question. No. I think it's a valid question because, yeah, like it is interesting because, like, you could say in a way of The Last of Us, right? Spoilers for The Last of Us, a over 10-year-old game has been remastered 17 times. So
and remade.
And remade another 22 times. Where you start off the game as his daughter, and then she dies in the opening intro, and then you play as Joel. Sarah's her name. Sorry. So you play as Sarah, and then she dies in the intro. So you could say that we don't know. Well, it does say like you do play as 4 characters, so all of them do survive. Essentially, we don't know yet. We could like get to the game, and Michelle spoils it again, like it did Life is Strange 2, where we just all had our theories about who's going where, and then Michelle's just like, oh, by the way, the dad dies. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Michelle. I'm looking at you.
Was that a Square Enix decision, though, when they did that in the trailer and stuff?
No, I'm pretty sure Michelle shared it. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. Because I remember, like, tweeting at him, like, yo, what the hell? And Michelle's like, oops, sorry.
Tweeting at him. Little did he know. Did he know who he was fighting with that.
If it was a Square decision, that's a stupid decision, which, goes off of Square. But I hated that, dude. It was so stupid. And then we find out that actually maybe it was Square, because then, right
I think you owe Michelle apology.
No, never. I'd never apologize. Because maybe it was Square, because now I'm thinking like for Life is Strange True Colors, and then we find out Gabe dies, and it's like it's like Gabe dies, by the way. Enjoy the game. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell?
Well, they did it, but they did it in the first Life is Strange. Remember the trailer? Like Chloe gets shot. They show that happening. Obviously, it's to explain the rewind mechanic, but
it explains the rewind. But yeah, that's a big moment where you're just like, oh my god, is she dead forever? It's just like, nah, she's fine, dude. Okay, Michelle, listen. Hey, buddy, don't spoil anything. Stop it.
I don't know why you're accusing him of spoiling things if you don't know it was him.
Because they're French people, and French people like to spoil things. That's why they like blue cheese, to let it spoil. Then they eat it. They go num blue cheese.
I'm not. I'd like a bit of blue cheese here and there. Nice on a
See,
burger.
Yeah, you're right next to France, though. Like you're right
Exactly.
above it. You're
Neighboring.
like upstairs neighbors. But no, like that's the thing. Just like I hope they don't. Anyways, my point. Here's my point.
Yes.
To answer this person's question, I think you do. I think you will play the same character, past and present, because you know the validity of that question. Validity of that question is that there have been games where you play as one character, and then in the future you play as the next character. You know, kind of wake up. I think you're going to play the same character, through and through, past and present. So that's my theory.
Yeah, I agree with you as well, because it's like we deduce that the orange-haired character is probably going to be our main protagonist from what we think anyway. The orange-haired character has an interest with the dark-haired character, who appears later in the trailer as the adult version, the only adult version, which obviously they seem to have a relationship. And it feels like if they're bringing that character back on, they're going to be a main focus because they're connected to the main character, if that is the main character. And I'd be very surprised if you change the protagonist after 27 years, because I feel like you want to keep it in someone's perspective and then see the world through their world as well. So I think that the balance would be very strange, if anything, of like looking through different people's perspectives after making a massive time jump, or how the story is told, because it could be told in sync. It could be adults, you play the adults the entire thing, and you play as the kids in between with like flashbacks. Who knows? Mainly, if anything, I'd like them to reveal give us the names, man. It's so hard. I know we have Autumn, Cat, Swan, and Hingy, but it's like I can't like associate them with the people at the minute. You know, I want to know who Nora is. I want to know who Cat is. Like, give me the names, man. Makes this podcast a lot easier to record.
I think we're gonna get the names in any one of the showcases. Like the showcases,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, like we're gonna. So okay, before we end this episode, we're going to have two theories. Okay. So between the two of us, the two theories are: which showcase is it going to be revealed? Not just a teaser, but like revealed at, like have the big showcase, and what month it's releasing.
Oh,
it doesn't have to be a specific day, but just what month.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll make my bets. My metaphorical bet. I think we're going to get the big reveal. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to be like, it's going to get the big reveal like Summer's Games Fest. And it's going to release in September.
So I think our Lord and Savior, the Dorito Pope, will reveal this game again at Summer Games Fest. So I agree. I don't think the Xbox games, because it's not an Xbox exclusive either.
It's not
I know
Xbox exclusive.
Yeah. I know Jusant wasn't, but I think because of this game, and there's so much value Don't Nod putting into this game as well. I think that this is a big investment for them. Like, you don't get Luke Bargados going on to the Xbox Wire making a post saying we have a franchise here before one game is out. Like, Oscar Gilbert has put a lot of faith in this game and like this series and the creators of Life is Strange.
And the Xbox Showcase is already crowded. They're talking about Senua. They're talking about Avowed. They're talking about Indiana Jones. It's already packed.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I don't think maybe actually here's one, right? I think that it'll debut again at the Summer game. So its second reveal or its second follow up will be shown at Summer Games Fest, which is before
Summer
Xbox
Games Fest is the first one. So that's on June 7th, and then Xbox is June 9th.
Right. So I think it's going to be properly shown again in whatever form it is, with whatever content we get at Summer Games Fest. Yeah.
Yes.
Then I also expect it to appear at the Xbox Game Showcase in a small preview. So little vignette, because it's coming on Xbox. Again, you've already kind of established it before when they have a good relationship with Microsoft. I wouldn't be surprised if it's shown again, just as like a little segment in there, not like a huge thing. The main focus is at Summer Games Fest. And then the release, I think it's October.
You think October? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's October.
I was thinking October, but I'm like, what games are coming out in October? October.
I think it's October. I would be very surprised if it was just June to September for the release window. I think that they're still working quite a lot on this. I still think that they've got quite a bit of work to do with it. Promotion
I don't
wise,
know,
material
buddy,
wise.
because you know what else is coming out in October?
What?
Terminator Survivors.
Yeah, it's gonna. Well, there you go. It's pushed back to 2025, confirmed. It's gonna come out the day of GTA 6 instead now. Lost Records. That's what's gonna happen.
There are only
Terminator.
2 games confirmed for October.
Remember,
Fantasy Life.
Jim Ryan even said as well before he left PlayStation, saying that they didn't have any mainline PlayStation big blockbuster exclusives coming out until next year. So now at this point, the entirety of that window is like quite open.
Yes.
So you basically have like a lot of room to maneuver in
even
there.
GTA,
No GTA
6 is 2025.
Yeah. No GTA, no big PlayStation blockbuster. If Microsoft produces something, I still think it's going to be very sporadic. Maybe September as a window, something like that. I think October, because it gives them enough time to basically continue development, continue revealing things, build up the marketing. The marketing is a big push for this game. They need to like, use every avenue that they can possibly get to get the marketing out there. And especially as well, if a new Life is Strange game is revealed, because for example, as well, a new Life is Strange game is revealed, that could take all the attention away from Lost Records Bloom and Rage, because the Lost Records Bloom and Rage audience is like mixed at the minute. So it's like people aren't necessarily convinced by it. Some people just love Life is Strange, no matter who makes it. So that is an established brand IP. Lost Records Bloom and Rage is not an established brand and IP. It is just a new IP now that Don't Nod has to like literally do everything for. And you know, as I said, best of luck to Marin for that, because that's his job as brand manager. Like, you know, that is one tall order. So, you know, and it's like a big ask for that. So I think like that's the main thing. So I think that's my prediction. So Summer Games Fest, then onto an October release. So you have Summer Games Fest in September. So let's see how that plays out. But we'll call it here because that's our episode. We try and keep these under an hour as well for the time being. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you are new here as well, one more time on the YouTube, please do consider dropping a subscribe on the channel, like the video, share with your friends. Helps support the channel, helps keep us to date with the content on the channel, all the different content we produce. And also the Lost Records Journal is available on all podcast services. So we're available on Spotify, the video version, we're available on Apple Podcasts, everybody else. And please do give us ratings as well. We don't have any ratings yet on Apple Podcast, and we have 2 on Spotify. Again, greatly appreciate the 2 people who gave us ratings on Spotify, and do subscribe on there as well, because you can get access to all your latest episodes straight away when they're available. We will be back next month now in May. So we're back in May for the next episode, so do stay tuned for that. Again, if you are new here as well, we do host StrangeCast, which is our bi-weekly Life is Strange fan podcast, which focuses on Lost Records as well, among many other things, including Don't Nod Entertainment, Deck 9, everything in between. So do go and check that out. That's bi-weekly as well. I think me and Adam have already spoken about this kind of moving to bi-weekly at some point when we get more information, but we're very far out from that for the time being, at least on Lost Records. So, you know, this is monthly for the time being. Do check it out and go and check out all the content. Right, guys, take care. Let us know in the comments where you think, you know, the location's going to be. And until then, we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Peace.